So if you break the LCD in your Photon M3 Max like I did, and you get a replacement, it's going to come in a freaking briefcase, which isn't surprising given that it costs $250 for just the LCD screen. I couldn't find an actual guide specifically for the M3 Max, so I'm going to show you how to install it. First step is unscrewing the knobs and removing the vat. The M3 Max is equipped with an auto refill unit. Be careful when you're removing the vat as it needs to get under these prongs. Lift it. There we go. Then go ahead and find a flat safe area to store the vat while you work on the printer. I should mention the vat does have feet to be able to keep the FEP sheet off the surface. And to keep you safe, go ahead and turn the printer off and remove the power source. So let's go over what's in this suitcase for your installation. There's going to be the LCD itself, which is going to be covered by a piece of foam. Be careful when you're cutting away the tape around the foam. You don't want to damage the LCD again. There's also 2 suction cups, some 3M, as well as a piece of plexiglass. Go ahead and use the suction cups that came with your kit and apply them in the middle of each half of the LCD screen. Go ahead and remove the electric tape that surrounds the perimeter of the old LCD screen. You can try to preserve this. So hey, future men here. Turns out that Anycubic does include a pre-cut decal that can replace the one you removed. So just use that instead of making your own. You're going to have to lay the entire printer onto its back and also remove these bolts here, here, and here in order to remove the front panel and regain access. Once you remove these 3 bolts, you can go ahead and remove the front panel. But be careful, there is a ribbon cable right behind this screen that's very short. You don't want to tear that. This is the ribbon cable and the connector that will need to connect into the new screen and remove from this one. You can also remove this ribbon cable from the front screen here so you can put this onto a better area and not in such a precarious situation. To remove the ribbon cable, you need to get something underneath this little black bar and then lift it up. There we go. Now it's free. Once the cable has been removed, you may notice that there are 2 holes right here, and you would think because it's empty, you can freely move this, but you can't. It's because there's 3 pieces of adhesive 3M underneath this board, and they need to be removed in order to be able to take this piece out. Once you remove these 3 pieces of 3M, the LCD screen can be removed. There's a solid black piece in the front of the printer. This is only held on by adhesive, and we're going to try to find a lip to lift and remove this piece. Because there are thin strips of 3M along the perimeter of the old screen, you're going to have to yank on the suction cups to get the adhesion to break in order to remove the old screen. Since the screen can now be removed, I'm going to go ahead and wiggle it and take it out, just like that. Since I have the screen upside down, I can really see how bad that crack was. I do hope y'all don't have to deal with this, but this is what the internals of the M3 Max looks like. The kit will come with a piece of glass that the LCD will lay on. In my case, only the LCD was damaged, so I'm keeping this glass as is. But before we install the screen, we have to make sure all of this is as clean as possible. So get a microfiber, or even better yet, a suede microfiber along with some alcohol and clean the surface. Next up, we're going to need to take these pieces and use these short strands and long strands to apply adhesive around the perimeter of the actual glass. When you're applying the adhesive, make sure you stay along the edge and don't go over it, as that will cause problems down the line. Next, use these 3 pieces of rectangular adhesives and place them on the outer edge, the middle, and the other outer edge, and these 3 will hold down the portion of the LCD that will connect to the ribbon cable. Now to install the screen itself, you're going to need these 2 suction cups to hold to the front of the actual LCD itself, as it will be labeled down here. You'll also need to peel back this green tab, which will remove the backing of the LCD, but before you do any of that, you need to take this piece right here and slide it through this slit there in order to connect it to the actual ribbon cable and also secure it with these adhesives. The screen should be installed properly now and connected to the original ribbon cable. Now we're going to need this thick piece of 3M, which will go along here and protect the ribbon cables of the new LCD. For $250, I appreciate Anycubic for actually including something better than electric tape to cover the perimeter of the new screen. And if you have an extra screen protector, now is a good time to go ahead and install it. With the screen protector now in place, the installation of the new LCD is done. And now we just have to reconnect the front panel, level the build plate, and we'll be ready to print.